Namaste and good morning. From the Himalayan Yoga Association, we will start with our 300 hours yoga anatomy and the physiology session. Before we start, we would like to chant an opening prayer and one Om followed by Shanti 3 times. So keep your eyes closed and back and spine straight. I will chant a mantra and then we will chant Om 1 time. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much, people. So we will start with our class. Up till now, what we have studied in your course, we have a complete idea about the skeletal system. We have complete idea about the muscular system. We have seen all the kinds of the bone joints. We have also seen and studied the specific different types of musculoskeletal movements. That means the muscles which helps our bone joints to move. We have also seen the cells, the tissues, the connective tissues, and the rest of the joints in our body. Also, we have studied more about the therapy, or in short, I have just told you certain asanas regarding our systems. So after seeing the skeletal and the muscular system in short, today we will start with our new system, that is endocrine system. So we will start with the new system, that is what? The endocrine system. Anatomy and physiology. Here today we will start endocrine system. Introduction. What is endocrine system? The first thing, I hope I'm audible. Yes. So this session will be recorded. If I cannot see the people who have joined yet, but the session is recorded. If you have missed this session, please watch, because on Monday or on the next week we will see the different glands and its physiology. That means the hormones produced by these glands in the endocrine system. Today we will introduce what is endocrine system, but so I will tell you to watch this video before you study the next part 2 of the endocrine system, that is the physiology of all these endocrine glands. So endocrine system is what? Basically the all the glands in our body. So the group of glands are all the glands in our body and the hormones produced by those glands. So endocrine system is what? The glands and hormones produced by those glands is known as endocrine system. Give me a second. Sorry. Yep. So then the glands and the hormones produced by those glands, it means our endocrine system. Now, what is this endocrine system is controlled? So these glands in our body are controlled directly by stimulation from the nervous system as well as the chemical receptors in blood and hormones produced by other glands. So these glands in our body are just controlled. The glands in our body are controlled directly by the nervous system and also by the chemical receptors from the blood. And also by the different hormones. So these glands, that means our endocrine system, are controlled by this nervous system with the chemical receptors from our blood as well as with the hormones which are produced by other glands. These glands, by regulating the function of the organs, these glands help. So by regulating the function of these hormones, these glands helps to maintain the body's homeostasis. To maintain the homeostasis of the body, so by regulating function of the organ, these glands maintain homeostasis of the body. What is homeostasis here? So the proper maintenance of the body is homeostasis. So these glands maintains all the proper maintenance of the body. Here the homeostasis at, it will say about the homeostasis, the word. So like cellular metabolism of the body will be maintained, the reproduction will be maintained, or the sexual development, or the sugar content in our body, or the mineral homeostasis, the minerals in our body, our heart rate, our digestion are among many processes regulated by the actions of these hormones. So these hormones, when they are released into our body, all the cellular metabolism, the reproduction, the minerals, as well as the sugar, we have the heart rate, our digestion, are among the processes which are controlled by the endocrine system and its hormones. Okay, this endocrine system is working, and this is very important to understand here. The endocrine system is controlled here, what I have said, by the nervous system and the chemical receptors of the blood cells. As well, there are two important things to like control the endocrine system. What are these two things? We have hypothalamus, and we have pituitary gland. So we will see the connection of these glands with the chakras, that is with the part of our subtle body anatomy. We will connect our physical body anatomy. Also, we will learn the functions of these glands, the physiology of these glands. But like this endocrine system, still if you will have a doubt what I am exactly speaking about, what glands I am talking about. So the glands, like we have the pineal gland, we have the thyroid gland, we have thymus, we have pancreas in our stomach. That pancreas also produces some enzymes in this digestive system, but here in the endocrine system, we have the sugar and insulin, these hormones with the pancreas. So these all the glands in our body How are they controlled? They are controlled with the hypothalamus. So with the hypothalamus and the master gland. So with the hypothalamus and the master gland, they are being controlled. How? That we will see now. Okay, on the board. I will just erase this. Just today, it will be a bit difficult to understand, but you will know what we are all studying slowly while we will study about the glands. So in our brain, it's a human. Here in our brain, we have the hypothalamus, that is a glandular tissue, not a gland. But to this hypothalamus, there is what? A pituitary gland. So we have the pituitary gland, that is the master gland, connected with the crown chakra, and this is the hypothalamus. So all the rest of the glands in our body will be controlled by hypothalamus and pituitary gland. So all the rest of the glands in our body will be controlled by hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. The rest of the glands are all connected with the chakras. All these glands are connected with the chakras. If you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we will see and study about the 7 major glands connected to the 7 major chakras in our subtle body. Okay, so these glands will be all in control with the central nervous system. That is, it will be in control with the hypothalamus as well as a part of the brain, and it will be in control with the pituitary gland. Now, what is hypothalamus? That we will see first. Hypothalamus is not a gland, so I will make it a star. And hypothalamus, we will talk about it. In our hypothalamus, it is the part of the brain that is superior and anterior to the brainstem and inferior to thalamus. So it is inferior to thalamus. Inferior means below. So here we have the thalamus T, and we have hypothalamus. The thalamus is not a part of endocrine system. So we will not study about thalamus. Thalamus, the function is just to regulate the heat as well as for the sensory receptors. So the sensation of the parts of the body as it is been controlled as well. We will talk only about the hypothalamus here. Just to show that where is hypothalamus, so it is under the thalamus. It is location is under the thalamus. This hypothalamus contains neurosecretory cells. Neurosecretory cells. It has neurosecretory cells. What does this mean, neurosecretory cells? That means neurons which secrete hormones. That means neurons secreting hormones are known as neurosecretory cells. Okay. So we have the hypothalamus in our brain under the thalamus, which contains neurosecretory cells. That means which has neurons that secretes hormones. And what does it do? It is responsible for the direct control of endocrine system through pituitary gland. So the hypothalamus containing the neurosecretory cells is responsible for direct control of endocrine system. That means direct control of all these glands. This is all glands we will see. For example, we have the pineal gland, we have the thyroid gland, we have the thymus gland, we have the pancreas gland, we have the adrenal gland, we have the gonad gland. That we will study all these glands later. So all this endocrine system is being controlled by the hypothalamus directly, but through the pituitary gland. So responsible for direct control of endocrine system through the help. So it takes the help of pituitary gland to control. Pituitary gland is the first gland from the top. Okay. Here, this hypothalamus produce two hormones. So how it is working? How are all these glands working? They do release hormones, but what here I am telling, they don't, they need to get some signals. They need to get some signals before releasing their hormones. So this endocrine system needs some signals before releasing their hormones. That signals are given by the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. So that signals, I hope you can see the whiteboard. Yep. So that signals are being given by the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. Like they will send these signals to these all glands to release their hormones. And after these glands, after receiving the signals from hypothalamus and pituitary gland, these glands will release their hormones. So they will not release their hormones without the signals given by hypothalamus from pituitary gland. How that we will see, how they will give the signals. So they will send these signals, that means they will send the stimulating and prohibiting hormones. So what is stimulating hormones? That is activating hormones or the stimulation hormones. They will release. So there are also inhibiting hormones and stimulating hormones released by the pituitary gland. So stimulating hormones given from the hypothalamus and pituitary gland will stimulate these glands, and inhibiting hormones given from the hypothalamus and pituitary gland to all these glands will stop the function of those glands to release its hormones. So stimulating hormones and inhibiting hormones are being sent to all these glands, whether they should be activated, whether they should release their hormones, or whether they should be stopped, whether they should inhibit its hormones. Those signals are known as stimulating and inhibiting hormones. Okay, I will erase this. Namaste. We have, I can see one student. We have Jagruti Babaria. Namaste ji.
Namaste, sir.
Am I audible?
Yeah, namaste, sir.
Yes, namaste. I would like to ask Jagruti, first thing that, is this your first day?
Actually, sir, I have completed the course.
Okay.
I'm a repeater.
Okay, no problem. But we have started this session at least like 20 minutes, 25 minutes back. So we have just started with the endocrine system. Today will be the introduction of the endocrine system. That means all the glands and the hormones produced by those glands. I am the anatomy and the physiology teacher for the Himalayan Yoga Association from the last 3 months.
Okay, sir.
Before I taught in the different schools for the last 6 years. But here we have already started, so it will be just a bit tough for you to understand. I have to go accordingly to complete the syllabus for 300 hours. So this session will be for the 300 hours in the afternoon, and in the morning I also take 200 hours, just to let you know. Okay. Now we have started with the endocrine system. Endocrine system means all these glands in our body. These glands are connected with the chakras as well in our body. So these physical glands in our body are connected to the subtle body anatomy, to the chakra, where all these glands are controlled with the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. That means hypothalamus and pituitary gland is the master gland I am just describing in a short. This will send the signals to the rest of the glands, which will release their hormones. Without getting the signals from the pituitary and the hypothalamus, our glands will not release the hormones in our body at the particular time. So now we have studied about the hypothalamus first. It is below the thalamus, which has neurosecretory cells. That means neurons secreting hormones, which is responsible for the direct control of the endocrine system. That means all these glands with the help of pituitary gland. Now we will see which hormones are produced by the hypothalamus. So here hypothalamus releases stimulating and inhibiting hormones. Along with stimulating and inhibiting, that means it will activate the rest of the glands, as well it will stop the rest of the glands to release their hormones. The two important hormones are produced by hypothalamus. They release these hormones, but they also produce two main hormones that are oxytocin and antidiuretic hormones. So that are the oxytocin and antidiuretic hormone. This session has been recorded. So this oxytocin and antidiuretic hormones, I am saying, is just they are produced by the hypothalamus. I have not used the word they are being released by the hypothalamus. So these oxytocin and antidiuretic hormones, I will tell you the functions, what they do, or when they are being released in our body, are first stored from the hypothalamus to the pituitary gland. So the first gland we will see pituitary gland. Where pituitary gland has two lobes or two sections, where our pituitary gland has the two lobes or the two sections. That means the posterior pituitary and the anterior pituitary. So here the pituitary gland has the posterior pituitary and anterior pituitary are the two lobes of the pituitary gland. Now, as I said, these hypothalamus, which produce these two hormones along with stimulating and inhibiting hormones, these two hormones, oxytocin and antidiuretic, are stored in posterior pituitary gland. So the hormones oxytocin and antidiuretic are being stored in the posterior pituitary gland, and they are released by posterior pituitary. So these do not release these two hormones. They are just produced and stored here. With posterior pituitary releases two hormones afterwards. When is oxytocin released? Oxytocin is being triggered out during the uterine contractions of the childbirth. During the childbirth, this oxytocin hormone is being triggered with the uterine contraction from the posterior pituitary gland, that is our master gland connected with our crown chakra, and as anterior pituitary. We will talk further. So posterior pituitary releases oxytocin and antidiuretic. Now, antidiuretic hormone, when it is released, at the time our body lacks in water. So when we have less content of water in our body, at that time, this posterior part of the pituitary gland releases antidiuretic hormone ADH. That means it reuptakes the water from the kidney. It reuptakes the water from the kidney to give it to our body, to balance the water content in our body. So this is what the antidiuretic hormone does after it has been released by the posterior pituitary. The oxytocin hormone, just during the childbirth, it is released as the uterine contraction. Also, it has been released during the breastfeeding for the milk release. It does not produce the milk, it releases. So while releasing the milk from the breast during feeding for the child, it is being released the oxytocin hormone. So this is the part of the posterior pituitary gland, which is the master gland. Why I am saying this as a master gland? Because the crown chakra, which is connected with the pituitary gland, our master gland, is what controls all the other glands. So posterior pituitary, if this only releases oxytocin and antidiuretic, and if I am saying that all the other glands are also in control with the pituitary gland, that is what? The role of anterior pituitary. So the role of anterior pituitary gland is what? To control the rest of the glands in our body, like thyroid gland, thymus gland, pineal gland, pancreatic gland, adrenaline, these hormones, gonad glands, reproductive hormones. All these are in control with which part? Anterior pituitary. That means the front side of the pituitary. I will erase this diagram and then I will show what is pituitary gland, how does it look like. So here so we have this posterior pituitary gland. The posterior pituitary gland is shaded. I will sketch. This is the posterior part of the pituitary gland. And this is what? The anterior pituitary. So here I will label like this. Anterior pituitary. Now, just to tell, when hypothalamus, which is connected to the pituitary gland here, the hypothalamus, which releases the hormones oxytocin and antidiuretic, are these hormones are stored in the posterior pituitary gland, where the posterior pituitary gland will release its hormone for specific functions which I have told at what time. but the rest of the glands are in control with the anterior pituitary lobe. So this side of the pituitary gland helps in stimulating and inhibiting the hormones. That means, for example, if we have to take thyroid gland, if you want to talk about thyroid glands, so if thyroid gland will release its hormones, before releasing its hormones, in simple term, I will tell this anterior pituitary will knock or will give or will send the stimulating hormones to thyroid gland. So in short, I will tell it will just tell the thyroid gland that now it's time for you to release your hormones. So after listening to the pituitary gland, this thyroid gland will then release its hormones. Not only about thyroid, this is just an example, the rest of the glands, so pineal, thyroid, thymus, pancreas, adrenal, all these glands are releasing their hormones after receiving the stimulating hormones and inhibiting hormones given by this hypothalamus and pituitary gland. So they will tell when it's their time to release their hormones and when they should stop releasing their hormones. So depending upon our body type, when our body is in need with that hormone, on what actions we are doing, at what specific time. So like adrenaline, that we will talk later when we will study adrenaline gland, is being released when, like when a tiger is running behind us, or when we are doing like a bungee jumping, that time a direct supply of blood given to our brain. Suddenly, that is been told by the pituitary gland to that adrenal gland. Now it's time that tiger is running behind. This is just an example to release your hormones. So we have that feeling. A quick sudden adrenaline hormone is been released. Like this, it is in control with anterior pituitary lobe, all the glands. Posterior pituitary just release oxytocin and antidiuretic. That's it. So this is how your master gland known as, which is connected to the crown chakra, that is your Sahasrara chakra. Later in the next week also we will study about the chakras. But before we study about the chakras, it is much important that I am not only the philosophy teacher, but also I am teaching here yoga anatomy. So we need to connect the physical body to the subtle body anatomy before studying chakras. So the connection of the master gland, if we have the crown chakra weakness, we have certain disorders with our crown chakra, it is the problem as well to our master gland. And if it is our pituitary gland is only not working well, then we have the problem with our whole body. Then the rest of the glands will also not function properly if our crown chakra is not only functioning properly, because this pituitary gland is controlling all the rest of the glands at right time to release its hormones. If the hormones are not only released at the right time, then we have certain diseases and disorders in our body. We will not be able to maintain our physical body completely if our subtle body is not functioning properly. Likewise, we will study about the rest as well. So today we'll just tell you about this introduction about the hypothalamus, about the pituitary gland only, and the rest of the glands we will see on the Monday, as they are all in control with the hypothalamus and pituitary. So this was the important thing to know. Just will dictate some things. That means we will study pineal gland connected with the third eye chakra. Then we will study the thyroid gland connected to the throat chakra. Then we will study the thymus gland connected with our heart chakra, the center. Then we will study the pancreatic gland, the pancreas, which regulates the sugar and the insulin in our body, connected to our solar plexus, Manipur chakra. Then we will study about the adrenal gland on the top of our kidneys, which will be connected to the sacral chakra, the Swadhisthana chakra, and the last is the gonad glands, the reproductive glands we will be studying, which is connected with the root chakra, Mooladhara chakra. So these glands, it will be the quick study on Monday. Okay, and this is important for today. If we will start today, it will take much time and will not be completed in the 5 minutes or 4 minutes. Yes, Jagruti ji, I would like to ask you now some questions like, when did you completed your course? Sorry, I'm not.
या मैंने ऑनलाइन कोर्स किया था सर, अभी कंप्लीट हुआ है।
Okay. So it was it just 200 hours, 300 hours?
या 200 आवर्स।
Okay. Even if it is 200 or 300, doesn't matter. It is all depend upon our self practice. This 200, 300, 500, 800, 1000, it is just a number. But our
Yes.
self practice will give us more knowledge than this whiteboard or the manual which we have. The more we will practice for ourselves, we can write our own manual.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is how it works in yoga. Okay, it's good you completed 200 hours at this one. And do you also teach in future? Will you teach?
या आई एम नॉट श्योर राइट नाउ। अभी तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे खुद को परफेक्ट होना चाहिए बिफोर टीचिंग।
Yes, you're right. Whether you have practiced it before yoga, have you practiced early before the
हाँ.
course?
एक्चुअली मैं ये योगा पास में काफी सालों से हूँ, आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग से कनेक्टेड हूँ मैं।
Yes.
या लास्ट 20 इयर्स से कनेक्टेड हूँ मैं।
Okay. So with the Shri Ravi Shankar, the art of living, you. So you did this course. So you already are into that yoga field.
Yes.
Background.
जी।
Okay. And the purpose is not to teach, just for the self practice and for the self, body, mind, and soul.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. So this was just because many people does the teacher training to teach as well in future, but it's good. First, we need to apply on ourselves only,
Yeah.
and it is not easy as well. So
Yeah.
even 1 month, 1 year, 1 life is not enough to study this yoga. Not like 200, 300 is. So this is not even studied in university also. 4 years, 5 years, even we cannot complete in university also. You are doing for 20 years, you are listening to Shri Ravi Shankar ji, the great one. But even if he will realize, or this great guru will also tell the same thing, that life is very short to study all this, achieve this knowledge. But as much as we can, we would apply, and the more we apply physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, the more we will learn by self. Yes. Okay. So anything here? Just some basic things.
Yeah.
Try to go through it.
Yeah.
And these are all recorded sessions as well.
Yeah.
Today the students are not present. Mostly we have 2-3 students every day. But today, I don't know, because of Saturday they are somewhere else. Okay.
Yes.
We will end the class now. Okay.
Yeah.
I will chant one closing prayer and one Om to end the class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukh Bhag Bhave. Back and spine straight. Take a long breath and chant Om. Om. We will chant Shanti 3 times slowly. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much. Hari Om.
Yeah, Hari Om
Yeah.
Namaste.
Hari Om Namaste. We'll end up the meeting here.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.